Hey everybody. So I had a really good lesson with a guy just about an hour ago, and we were talking about building up some vocabulary, and he's working on building up just some basic bebop stuff to get into his playing. And one of the things I'm getting to do is to work on some classic vocabulary, from guys like Charlie Parker to more modern players like Bob Mintzer. Not that Parker wasn't modern and way ahead of his time. So one of the things we were doing was looking at melodies from like some of the bop classics and a tune that a lot of bass players know really largely, I think, because of Jaco Pastorius, was Donna Lee. And Jaco played an incredible solo on that, but the melody itself is chock full of really kind of great kind of goodies to put into your playing. Just the melody alone, before you get into what Parker played for his solo, or what Jaco did. So it pays to kind of get into what's going on harmonically in that tune, and the very first 4 bars have a ton of cool stuff. And we're just going to look at the first couple of bars. Now, if the tune is in A flat, which is a standard key for Donna Lee, right? It starts on an A flat major chord, and it goes to an F7. The F7 is a 6th chord of A flat, but it's an F dominant 7. If it was a diatonic 6th chord, it'd be an F minor, but it's not, it's F7. The reason for that is it's going to a 2 chord that's also a secondary dominant. It's a B flat 7. So the progression is going 1, 6, 2 on the secondary dominant, B flat 7, and then goes to the straight B flat minor 2 chord, to E flat 7, back to 1. So you have this A flat major, F7, B flat 7, B flat minor 7, E flat 7, A flat. And then it moves to a 4 chord and so on. Now, just this opening lick that Parker played. I'm going to play the slow with that. Just that alone is a great line. Now I'm going to explain what's going on there. So Parker's descending through an A flat major line here. And then he adds a chromatic passing note between the 6th of an A flat major scale into the 5th. So you get, right? Then he continues descending through an A flat major scale, lands on an A natural at the beginning of the next bar. Now this is super hip, because what he's doing here is hitting the 3rd of that F7, that dominant F7 chord, the 6th chord. So he's targeting a really strong chord tone of the 6th. So that lets you know that you've moved harmonically away from A flat major to an F7 chord, right? Which is now acting as a 5 chord of B flat, which is about to come up, right? So it's a super hip little idea, and that progression of 1 to 6 is one of the most common progressions you see in harmony. For instance, it's bars 7 and 8 of a standard like major style jazz blues. I'm going to say a major blues, that usually the 1 chord in a major style blues is a dominant, not a major 7. So if we were, say, playing a blues in A flat, bars 7 and 8 might well go A flat 7 in this case, but down to F7. We could use that Donna Lee line. And even though we've got a G there, the major 7, we can still get away with that on the A flat. Or we can alter it to a G flat. Do that like that. That's fine too. But the G is actually kind of a cool tension. Even though you're hitting it on a downbeat, you're leaping right off that back up. It's quite a nice little quote anyway to be able to throw in. Now, once you've done that, the next step is to transpose that into different keys as well, because you've got your perfect little 1, 6 line, right? Maybe the heat, and also play in different places. So or fingering, look. Do it here, different fingering. I like this fingering a lot. I don't like trying to go, it's too awkward, so I go, that's the one for me, so I go, and I can also slide into the C natural here. That's really easy. For me, you know, for me, that's the most comfortable way. So I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of got a good fingering system here. So, right? It's perfect. Works really easily. Now, that's going A flat major to F7, 1 to 6 in that key of A flat. So now let's transpose it. Maybe I'll go through it in the key of F now, right? A really common key as well for blues and many standards. So I go, okay. So I know that the original line starts on the major 7. Does that to the 6th chromatically from the flat 6 into the 5th, down through the major scale. And if I want to go to my 6 of F, it's a D7, so I'm going to target the 3, the major third of the D7, the 6th chord. So I go back to A flat, now to F, right? Right, see what I mean? So it sets you up beautifully for the next chord in Donna Lee. But if you were playing a blues, you're playing something else as well. You know, if you're going an F blues, you go from 1 to 6, and you're going to go 2, 5, 1. So there, I did that. I went from 1, and then 2, 5 to 1, right? Right, there it is.